What was man before? Darwin says he must have been a monkey. We don't like it. Before that, well, he was a vertebrate. Before that, he was an amphibian. Before that, he was in the sea. Before that, he was the mollusk. Before that, he was the ooze, primeval ooze. And before that, we don't know. God is like that. Anadi Anantam. No beginning, no end. What was God before? Suppose your son asks you, well, my son, God could not have been anything else because he was always God. Come on, Dad, everybody has to be something before, to be something now. This was a seed, now it is a tree. And then you say, okay, says, what was the seed before? Well, Daddy, it was the fruit in the tree. And before that, when there was no fruit, but Dad, it has to be there because it grew from, it could not have come from nowhere. That nowhere is divine. See? So from nothing it comes into being and goes back into nothingness. That is again the idea of life, of the evolving life. And quantum science says they seem to come into existence and disappear. Here science and spirituality think alike, but yet this is science and this is spirituality. For the scientist. For us, it's all the same. How do you know? They say, well, we see it on the, the trails, on the camera plates, these particles leave behind. How are they made? Oh, the cyclotrons, collision of particles. How do you know they collide? Well, there's the evidence on the camera plate. How do you know this is right? For heaven's sake, Chariji, it's science, man. It has to happen. We program it. Yes, but in my quantum field, people come and go. What do you mean? Well, child was born, where was it earlier? Science says in its mother's belly. How did it get there? They give you all this crap about conception and, the egg and the sperm. What was the life and where was it? Was it in the egg or was it in the sperm? Well, Chariji, two things have to come together to produce the third. Wonderful science. So there is this eternal and I'm sure unending problem between science and spirituality. Because they believe in the invisible. But yet that invisible, if it did not leave a trace somewhere, they would not know. And they have the idea that some of these particles are moving backwards in time. But yet they scoff at science fiction. See? Because it is science but fiction. So these, they quarrel between diverging thoughts, diverging philosophies will go on perennially. I don't see them meeting, except at some future, maybe millennium, when they will say, yes, this is what we have all been talking about. Only thing, you call it science, I call it spirituality. It was both and it was neither. So Babuji says, is God Dvaita or Advaita? He says he can be what he wants when he wants. He can achieve a form if he wants it. He can remain invisible and unseen if he wants it. So he's either Dvaita or, what did I say? Advaita, depending on what he wants. Yes, but how can you do that, Chariji? How can then, how? It's not possible. Yes, but you have this split window experiment where it can go through this split or this split window. How do you decide where it goes? Yes, but that is random. Do you think it's really random? Well, come to think of it, no, actually, but there's no explanation. That is God. You would say God is sitting guiding these particles into where they should be going. Well, you have no explanation, but I have at least some explanation. Why don't you accept it? But it is irrational, Chariji. Gone. Science wins, spirituality wins. No science has not won anything. See? So this is how it goes. Anything else? Okay, thank you.